You won't believe that a tiny group of volcanic islands off the coast of Africa is home to creatures found nowhere else on Earth. The Canary Islands are more than beaches and sunshine. They're living laboratories of evolution where isolation has shaped life into extraordinary forms. And today we're stepping into their world. Let's start with one of the most overlooked yet fascinating creatures, the Gallotia lizards. These aren't your average garden lizards. Some, like the Tenerife lizard, grow surprisingly large and have learned to thrive in harsh volcanic landscapes. Their colours shift from dull browns to striking blues, a silent signal of territory and mating rights. Watching them bask on ancient lava rocks, you realise they are survivors, writing their evolutionary story against a backdrop of fire and ash. But reptiles aren't the only evolutionary wonders here. Enter the Canary Islands stonechat, a small, restless bird clinging to the rugged cliffs of Fuerteventura. Unlike its European relatives, this little bird has adapted to desert-like conditions where water is scarce and the winds can strip the land bare. Its resilience tells a bigger story. Life here doesn't just adapt, it reinvents itself. The Gran Canaria blue butterfly, with wings that shimmer like pieces of sky, exists only here. Unlike other butterflies that travel wide, this species has stayed put, guarding its tiny kingdom among the island's ravines. Its rarity makes every sighting feel like stumbling upon treasure, a fleeting miracle of colour in the dry landscape. Speaking of colour, one plant really steals the spotlight, the Canary Island dragon tree. With twisting branches that look like something from a fantasy novel, this tree actually bleeds a deep red resin when cut, known historically as dragon's blood. Ancient people once believed it held magical powers. Standing beneath one, you feel as though you've stepped back in time into a myth that's still alive in wood and sap. But let's dive into the ocean, because the Canary waters, well, they hide their own secrets. Meet the angel shark, a master of camouflage lying flat on the sandy seabed. Once widespread across Europe's coasts, it now finds refuge mainly here. Divers describe the thrill of spotting one as if the sand itself suddenly grows eyes and breathes. This isn't just a shark, it's a living reminder of the fragility of ocean ecosystems. Back on land, the Canary Islands spurge really deserves its place on this list. This plant looks unassuming until you realize it's a botanical warrior, adapted to volcanic soil and salty winds. Its milky sap is toxic, a defense that's been honed over centuries. Farmers once used it carefully to fish, and though dangerous, it remains a symbol of nature's resilience in unforgiving conditions. And then there's the Tenerife blue chaffinch, a bird so rare it feels almost mythical. With its soft bluish feathers, it sings only from the high pine forests of Tenerife. Conservationists have fought hard to keep its song alive, battling deforestation and habitat loss. To hear its call echoing through the trees is to witness both fragility and hope woven together in sound. Another hidden jewel is the Canary Islands laurel forest, home to ancient plants that once blanketed much of southern Europe. Here grows the viñatigo tree, one of the so-called living fossils of these misty forests. Step into the laurel woodlands and you step into a prehistoric climate where, honestly, every leaf whispers of a Europe long gone. For number 9, let's head underground. The Lanzarote blind crab, found only in volcanic caves formed by flowing lava, is a ghostly creature with no eyes, perfectly adapted to eternal darkness. Imagine living in blackness so complete that sight becomes unnecessary. This crab reminds us that evolution doesn't just reward the strong, but those who specialize even in the strangest corners of Earth. And finally, the crown jewel of Canary endemics, the laurel pigeon. This bird, with deep plum colors and a stately presence, feeds almost exclusively on laurel fruits in those misty forests. It is both a guardian and a dependent of that ecosystem. Without the pigeon, the seeds wouldn't spread, and without the forest, the pigeon would vanish. It's a delicate partnership, a reminder that survival is rarely a solo act in nature. What makes the Canary Islands extraordinary is not just their sun-drenched beaches, but this cast of hidden characters. Lizards flashing blue, trees bleeding red, sharks breathing beneath sand, and pigeons keeping ancient forests alive. These species are more than curiosities. They are living testaments to adaptation, survival, and the delicate web of life that isolation creates. The next time you hear about the Canaries, remember this: beyond the resorts and waves, there is a wild story unfolding, one that exists nowhere else on Earth.